completely automatic copper golem sorting system without any chaos and absolutely no complicated redstone. In fact, no redstone whatsoever. Let me show you how. On those bottom 2 rows, that is what you're going to need to make one module of this farm. And you can make as many modules as you would like. Across the top, that's what I'm just going to sort in this particular module. Pause the video, take a screenshot, do what you got to do. Let's crack on. Now, I saw a variation of this on Moriting's channel. I don't know if he was the person that made it up, but it works on Bedrock and it works on Java. And he was the one I saw it on. So credits to him. So the first thing you're going to do is lay down your pumpkin, get your shears and right click on it. That is going to give you a carved pumpkin plus 4 seeds, which you can grow more pumpkins out of. Then batter that pumpkin out because you're going to need that in a minute. Once you've decided where your storage system is going to be, you are going to need 9 double chests. That's 3, and then you're going to put 3 on top. Shift click there, and shift click there, and then row it up using shift click on the sides of those. And then you're going to do another one on the top as well. So you've got effectively 3 rows of 3 using shift click to get the double chests. Now decide which side of these chests do you want to access your stuff from. Do you want to access it from this side, or do you want to access it from this side? Whichever side you decide you don't want to access it from, place right in the middle 1, 2, 3 temporary blocks, and behind those 1, 2 structural blocks. Now that might be a back wall that you've just dug out of a cave, and that's absolutely fine, but they're going to be blocks that you're going to use. On the sides of these temporary blocks here, you're going to place a chain there, and a chain there, a chain there, and a chain there. So that is the top and the middle blocks. You are then going to dig that, and you're going to come down and grab those, and then you're going to turn that into a path block, and you're going to place vines on the back of that block right there. This is where your copper golem is going to sit. Place a temporary block there if you jumped off like I did, and get yourself back on top of the chest. You are then going to place a block there, a block there, block on top of that chain, on top of that chain, on top of the chest using shift click, and then you're going to place 1, 2, 3, and 4 blocks around. So you've got a tube where you can see the vines, and then 3 dirt blocks. You're then going to grab your block of copper, you're going to place that on that bottom dirt block just above the vines, and then your carved pumpkin, and you're going to pop it on top of that copper block, and it's going to turn into a copper golem. At this point, if you wish to use honeycomb on your copper golem to stop it going green and eventually grinding to a halt, you absolutely can do that. Alternatively, you just keep visiting him, giving him a little chip away with your pickaxe to take off all of that stuff that turns him different colors. Eventually, he's going to grind to a halt, so do wax him if you've got access to honeycomb. What you then want to do is crouch and knock out that copper chest. He will fall down onto that path block. You're then going to get your last and final chain, and you're going to place it above his head across the end there, and then you're going to dig out these temporary blocks. You are going to be using some of them again in just a moment. Get down to there. Now this is the deal, you need to get your copper golem in this corner round here so as it works properly. Now he's quite tough, so feel free, I've just fallen off the thing again, let's jump back on. He's quite tough, so give him a little knock diagonally towards that chest, just a little punch, and pop him in that corner. He won't hold it against you, and that means he's in the right spot to do things in the order that we want him to do them. That vine will stop him moving around. Now if you placed it there, get rid of that temporary block and move a temporary block to this side right there. You're then going to get your chest. You're going to place a chest right there. You're going to get rid of that temporary block. You're going to use your hopper. You're going to put the hopper going into that chest, and then maybe replace this temporary block for now and put yourself a chest on top of that hopper using shift click. You can then get rid of that temporary block again. You can then place a copper chest right there. The golem will be able to access that copper chest as soon as he stops staring at me and get the stuff that you're going to put in it and sort it into these chests. At the minute, of course, there's nothing in there. We're going to put our stuff in these chests now. Now, the most simple way of doing this is to get one item of each of the things that you're going to sort and place them into these chests. So that's what I'm going to do now. So now I've got one item in each of these chests. I can then come around and place all of these items into this copper chest, and this little fella will start sorting them out into the right chest. I'm also going to place just there, because I can, some things that I'm not going to have him sort, and you'll see where he puts them. Oh, now he's found stuff. He's very excited, and he's now going to look through all these chests to see if he can find that item. Now, obviously, you are at the mercy of the speed of the copper golem. Every time he opens a chest, there's a delay of a couple of seconds every time he has a look and then opens the next one. He's not very good at remembering the chests, unfortunately. So he flows through all of them, one after the other, sometimes opening the same one twice before he finds the thing that you want to have sorted. But eventually, he'll sort the whole lot. You can speed it up, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Now, our golem has got the pumpkin seeds that I popped in there earlier on, and he's not found anywhere to put them because none of these items have got pumpkin seeds in. So he places it in this chest, which means it comes into this chest, and it is ready to be sorted by someone in the next module. And you build a second module in exactly the same way as you built the first one, right next to it. I've built this module in exactly the same way as I did before, but this time I'm going to put 2 copper golems in there, exactly the same way I did the first one. I'm going to dig out that chest right there, and then once that's dug out, in exactly the same way as I did before, I'm going to place a second copper golem. That's going to place a second chest that I can then dig out, and that will drop that copper golem on top of the first one to fill up the same spot. I'm then going to pop a chain on top of them, and I'm going to dig out my temporary blocks just like I did before. If one of the blocks you want falls in the middle of these two, so you can't access that because that's in the way, that's in the way. Now, you've got 2 options. One, you're going to be replacing this chest with the copper chest anyway, so when you get that chest out, you can just knock it out and walk in. Or alternatively, if you've already done that, you can shift click a trapdoor on the side of the chest, walk to the trapdoor, flap it down, and it'll allow you to go in, grab the items that are in there, and then get rid of that trapdoor. Either one of those options works beautifully. For each subsequent module, what you're going to do is you're going to take out this chest here that the hopper's running into, and you're going to place a copper chest onto that place where the chest was. That means anything put into this chest will run into the copper chest, and that means they'll start sorting out the new things that come into this chest that haven't been sorted into the first 9 chests, and start sorting out into these ones. So I need 9 more items that are going to be sorted. So I've set these to have different items in wood, different coloured walls, you can see here. And then in this one, I've got these single items that only one item could be in a stack. So I put my iron pick there. And in this one, you'll notice I filled it all up. Parts of it with oak planks, parts of it with oak logs, parts of it with stairs, slabs, and fences, and it will sort all of that out for us. So I'm going to come into the copper chest, and I'm going to place that there, stuff that's sorting out, then some more bits and pieces, then stuff that's sorting out, then some more bits and pieces, and then some picks, and basically popping all this stuff in randomly so as it doesn't know what's coming for it. And we'll see how that works. You'll also notice it waited for me to finish. It can't access that unless it's closed. So if you're in there, you can fiddle around with the stuff that's in there without him nicking the stuff. The same is true for these 2 copper golems. They can only access the copper chest just one at a time. But whilst one of them is putting its thing away, the other one can go into the copper chest and start putting its thing away as well. So it's pretty much double the speed. And you can load these things up. Put like 24 golems in there if you want. I don't mind. They'll sort all that stuff out super fast. Depends how much copper you've got. So let's see how they're getting on. You can see there that it has placed the oak stairs into the right pile there. It's not just kind of lobbed it and missed it. It's put it on the right pile for you. It's sticking other bits and pieces in. That's been sorted out. That's been sorted out. That's been sorted out. And you can make this go for as long as you want and have as many different items sorted as you need. So there you have it. A super simple and extremely expandable copper golem sorting system. Easy to build, easy to maintain, and I do recommend that you wax these golems as soon as you get hold of some honeycomb. Let me know if there are any other farms you want me to try and make for you and simplify. Put them down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Also, do the likey, subscribey thing if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel and costs you absolutely nothing. I really appreciate it. And I will look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.